Kumusta mga kaibigan? Hello friends! Welcome to our Aralin 2 or Lesson 2 of our Tagalog for Beginners. Let us have this dialogo or dialogue. Read the dialogue below after completing this chapter. Practice this dialogue on greetings and introductions using your own information. Pedro, magandang umaga po, Ginang Cruz. Ginang Cruz, magandang umaga naman, Pedro. Pedro, Ginang Cruz, ito po si Maria, kaklase ko siya. Ginang Cruz, ikinagagalak kong makilala ka, Maria. Pedro, Maria, si Ginang Cruz, guro ko siya. Maria, ikinagagalak ko rin pong makilala kayo. So let's translate this dialogue. Magandang umaga po, Ginang Cruz. Maganda means beautiful or pretty or good. When we say umaga, that's morning, and then the po is what we add to make it more polite or respectful. When we say Ginang, that's Mrs. and then Cruz is the last name. So magandang umaga po, Ginang Cruz. That means good morning, Mrs. Cruz. Magandang umaga naman, Pedro. When we say naman in English, that's too or also kind of. So magandang umaga naman, Pedro. Good morning to Pedro. Next, Pedro answered, Ginang Cruz, Mrs. Cruz, ito po si Maria. So ito is this. So this is Maria, kaklase ko siya. When we say kaklase, that's classmate ko is my, and then siya is he or she, it's gender neutral. So Mrs. Cruz, this is Maria, she is my classmate. Ikinagagalak kong makilala ka, Maria. When we say galak, that means happy or excited or pleased. So ikinagagalak kong makilala ka, Maria. So I'm pleased to meet you, Maria. Ko is my or me or mine. And then kilala is to know. So I'm glad to know you, Maria. Maria, si Ginang Cruz, guro ko siya. When we say guro, that means teacher. Guro ko siya. Ko is my, and then siya is he or she. So she is my teacher. Ikinagagalak ko rin pong makilala kayo. I'm also pleased or happy to meet you. So rin is to or also. And then po is what we add to make it more respectful or polite. Next one, let's have these vocabulary words. When we say naman, it is an expression used to mean to or also. Ito is this, ito. Kaklase, once again, that's classmate. And ginang is Mrs. And the acronym for that is GNG, ginang. Rin or din means to or also as well. Next, let us study the following pronouns. Kami means we, exclusive, and not including the person or persons being addressed. Kami. When we say tayo, that means we, inclusive or including the person or persons being addressed or talked to. When we say kayo, that means plural, kayo. Sila, that's they. Namin, that's ours. And it is exclusive, not including the person or persons being addressed. When we say natin, that means ours, inclusive, including the person or persons being addressed. So we also have nila, that means their. Sina is the plural marker for personal names. Sina. Mga is used for the plural form equivalent to the letter S added to the word in English, and it always comes before the word. When we say at, that is and in English, and it is used as a linker. When we say binibini, the acronym is BB, that means Miss. Binibining Maria, Miss Maria, Ginang Maria, that's Mrs. And then Ginoong is for Mr. Ginoong Pedro, Mr. Pedro. When we say tao, that's a person, and what we've mentioned earlier, mga is used to make it plural. So tao, that's one person. To make it plural, we have mga tao. Next, we have words you can use when introducing someone. So let's have this. When we say kapatid, that means brother or sister. It's gender neutral, kapatid. When we say kaibigan or kaibigan, that means friend, kaibigan. When we say katrabaho, that means co-worker. Trabaho means work, katrabaho. Kasambahay means person who lives in the same house. Kasambahay, a bahay is a house. It can also mean a person who works for the house. Like, let's say, helper or something, kasambahay. When we say kapitbahay, that means neighbor. When we say bahay again, that means house. To kapit means to hold hands in a way or to be together. So neighbor is a kapitbahay. When we say kababayan, that means a person from the same town or from the same country. Kababayan, a bayan is a town or a country. Kapatid, kaibigan or kaibigan. Katrabaho, kasambahay, kapitbahay, kababayan. Let us practice these expressions. When we say magandang umaga, that means good morning in English. Please repeat after me. Magandang umaga. Magandang tanghali means good noon. Tanghali is noon. When we say maganda, that means pretty or beautiful or good. Magandang tanghali. Please repeat after me. Magandang tanghali. Next one is magandang hapon. Magandang hapon. That means good afternoon. Hapon is afternoon. Magandang hapon. Please repeat after me. Magandang hapon. Magandang umaga, magandang tanghali, magandang hapon, magandang gabi. Once again, please repeat after me. Magandang umaga. Magandang tanghali. Magandang hapon. Magandang gabi. Next, let us practice saying the below sentences aloud to get a feel for how this chapter's vocabulary and grammar work in Filipino. Mga guro sina Ginoong Santos at Ginang Cruz. Mga guro sina Ginoong Santos at Ginang Cruz. Nagtuturo sila sa Universidad ng California. Nagtuturo sila sa Universidad ng California. Mga estudyante po kami. Mga estudyante po kami. Mga tao tayo. Mga tao tayo. Pedro at Juan ang mga pangalan namin. Pedro at Juan ang mga pangalan namin. Ginoong Santos at Ginang Cruz ang mga pangalan nila. Ginoong Santos at Ginang Cruz ang mga pangalan nila. Let us translate the sentences in English. When we say mga guro sina Ginoong Santos at Ginang Cruz, guro is singular, that means teacher. Mga guro, that means teachers. Mga guro, like what we mentioned earlier, mga is used to make nouns or things plural. Guro is singular, mga guro is plural. Ginoong Santos, that means Mr. Santos. Ginang Cruz, that means Mrs. Cruz. Mga guro sina Ginoong Santos at Ginang Cruz, Mr. Santos and Mrs. Cruz are teachers. Nagtuturo sila sa Universidad ng California. When we say nagtuturo, that means teaching. Turo, that means to teach. Sila is they, is gender neutral. Universidad, that's University of California. Nagtuturo sila sa Universidad ng California. That means they are teaching at the University of California. Mga estudyante po kami. That means we are students. Estudyante, that's singular, student. And then mga is added to make it more plural. And then the po, that is our polite word. And then kami is we. So mga estudyante po kami. Mga tao, tayo. When we say tao, that's a person. Mga tao, that means people. Tayo is we. So we are people. Pedro at Juan ang mga pangalan ninyo. Pedro and Juan ang mga, and then mga is like added to make pangalan plural. When we say pangalan, that's a name. And then to make it names, we add the word mga. So mga pangalan, name. Names. Ginoong Santos at Ginang Cruz ang mga pangalan nila. So, Mr. Santos and Mrs. Cruz are their names. So, let me read again the Filipino sentences. Please repeat after me. Mga guro sina Ginoong Santos at Ginang Cruz. Nagtuturo sila sa Universidad ng California. Mga estudyante po kami. Mga tao tayo. Pedro at Juan ang mga pangalan namin. Pedro at Juan ang mga pangalan ninyo. Ginoong Santos at Ginang Cruz ang mga pangalan nila. So let us have these mga pagbati or greetings. So study the situation given. Assume the identity of the person saying the dialogue. How would you greet the other person? Please use the honorific word po when necessary. So number 1, bilang isa, it's 9 a.m. You meet your teacher. So the answer for this would be, magandang umaga po. Magandang umaga po. Bilang dalawa, number 2, it's 7 p.m. You meet a friend. 7 p.m. So that would be, magandang gabi. Magandang gabi. To sound more polite, that would be, magandang gabi po. But since here it's the teacher or the teacher, so the teacher doesn't need to be polite to a friend. But of course, she can still be polite in a way. She can still use the word po. Bilang tatlo, it is 4 p.m. You meet your friend's mother. So the student, estudyante would say, magandang hapon po. Magandang hapon po. So once again, in Filipino, when we say tanong, that means question, and a sagot is an answer. Tanong is a question, and sagot is an answer. Let us have this pagsasanay sa pagsagot ng mga tanong. Practice in answering questions. Bilang isa, ano ang mga pangalan ninyo? What are your names? Pedro at Juan po ang mga pangalan namin. Or Maria at Clara po ang mga pangalan namin. Bilang dalawa, mga estudyante ba kayo? Are you students? Opo, mga estudyante po kami. Opo, mga estudyante po kami, or hindi po kami mga estudyante. Hindi po kami mga estudyante. Bilang 3, saan kayo nag-aaral? So, where are you studying? Saan is where, and then aral means to study. So, saan kayo nag-aaral? Where are you studying at? Sa Universidad ng California po kami nag-aaral. Or, sa Universidad ng Pilipinas po kami nag-aaral. Or it can also mean, sa Universidad ng Pilipinas po ako nag-aaral. So, kayo can also be used to refer to more than one people. It is used to sound more polite. Next one is the tanong. If there is no tanong, and then the sagot would be, Ginang Domingo at Binibining magtoto ang mga pangalan namin. So, that would be, the tanong would be, ano ang mga pangalan ninyo? So, what are your names? Ano ang mga pangalan ninyo? Bilang 5, there's you have to make the tanong and then there's the answer. Oo, mga guro kami. So the question for this would be, mga guro ba kayo? Mga guro ba kayo? Bilang 6, there's no tanong, there's no question, so there's the sagot. So let's make the tanong. And the answer is, nagtuturo kami sa Tokyo University. The tanong for this would be, saan kayo nagtuturo? Saan kayo nagtuturo? Next one is the tanong, ano ang mga pangalan nila? So that means, what are your names? Pedro at Juan po ang mga pangalan nila. Pedro at Juan po ang mga pangalan nila. Number 8, we have nagtatrabaho sila sa Philippine Book Company. So the tanong for this would be, saan sila nagtatrabaho? Saan sila nagtatrabaho? Bilang 9, mga doktor ba kayo? The answer would be, opo, mga doktor kami. So when you say doktor, that's a doctor. So are you doctors? Or if it's a no, hindi po kami mga doktor. Opo, mga doktor po kami, or hindi po kami mga doktor. Bilang 10, the answer is, ang sagot ay mga nurse kami. So the tanong for this would be, mga nurse ba kayo? Mga nurse ba kayo? So let us now have our grammar or grammatica. First is our markers. So si and ang are called markers. In the Filipino language, there is no direct equivalent for the articles a, an, and the in the English language. When the term marker is used, it refers to the words that mark whether the next word, a noun, is the subject or the object of the sentence. So we have si and ang. Usually si is used for people, and then ang are for things and animals or places as well. And places is kind of like sa. So ang, so yes. Next, let us have our nominative pronouns, which are plural. So many learners get confused because there are 2 Filipino plural first-person pronouns, which is kami and tayo. Both these pronouns mean we. However, kami refers to the speakers, while tayo refers to both the speakers and those being addressed. So let's have the first person or persons speaking plural exclusive. We have the word, the Tagalog word or the Filipino word kami, which means we in English. The first person exclusive plural kami can be used by one person speaking, referring to himself or herself and his or her companions, or by several people speaking together and talking only about themselves. The word exclusive means that when using this pronoun, the speaker or speakers are referring exclusively to himself or herself and his or her companions, and not to the person or people he or she is talking to. So in the sentences below, for example, 2 students are talking to 2 teachers. Pedro and Clara talking to Ginoong Santos and Ginang Cruz. So they would say, mga estudyante kami. We are students. Next one, Ginoong Santos and Ginang Cruz talking to Pedro and Clara. Mga guro kami. So that means we are teachers referring to Ginoong Santos and Ginang Cruz. So either of them can say this sentence. Pedro and Ginoong Santos talking to Clara and Ginoong Cruz, they can say, mga lalaki kami. So that means we are men. Lalaki is men. Ginang Cruz and Clara talking to Pedro and Ginoong Santos, they can say, mga babae kami, we are women. Next are first person plural, inclusive or persons speaking, and the person or persons being addressed. So we have tayo, which also means we. The first person inclusive plural tayo refers to the person or person speaking as well as to the person or people he, she, or they are talking to. The term inclusive calls for the pronoun tayo and includes the person or the people addressed. Let us have the following examples. Pedro is talking to Clara. So he can say, mga estudyante tayo. So that means we are students. Let's have the other one. Ginoong Santos talking to Ginang Cruz. So Ginoong Santos can say, mga guro tayo. That means we are teachers including Ginoong Santos and Ginang Cruz. Pedro and Clara talking to two other students, Maria and Juan. So, mga estudyante tayo, that means we are students. Mga estudyante tayo. Clara and Ginang Cruz and Maria talking to each other. Mga babae tayo. When we say babae, that means girl. Mga babae, that means girls. Mga babae tayo. Pedro, Juan, at Ginoong Santos talking to each other. Mga lalaki tayo. That means we are boys. Mga lalaki tayo. Next is we have second person plural or persons being addressed. Kayo, that means you, plural in English. The plural second person pronoun kayo refers to the people being addressed. It may be also used in formal situations or when the person being addressed is older. Ginang Cruz talking to Pedro and Clara. So Ginang Cruz can say, mga estudyante kayo. That means you are students, mga estudyante kayo. Next, Pedro and Clara talking to Ginoong Santos and Ginang Cruz. Mga guro po kayo. That means you are teachers, mga guro po kayo. Next are second person, plural or persons being addressed. Sila is they in English. Sila. The third person plural sila refers to people other than those speaking or being addressed. Sila is also considered to be the most formal way of addressing another person. Let us have the following examples. Pedro and Clara talking to Maria and Juan about Ginoong Santos and Ginang Cruz. So either Pedro or Clara can say, mga guro sila. That means they are teachers. Next, we have Ginoong Santos and Ginang Cruz talking to a parent about Pedro and Clara. So, Mr. Santos or Mrs. Cruz can say, mga estudyante sila. They are students. Let us now have our possessive pronouns plural. Similarly, plural possessive pronouns in the first person can also be challenging because the situation can be exclusive, referring only to the people speaking, or inclusive, both the person or the people speaking and the person or the people being addressed as well. Let us have our first person plural or person speaking exclusive. So we have the Tagalog or the Filipino pronoun namin, which is our in English, namin. When the person speaking excludes the person, the people he or she is talking to, namin is used. Let us have this one. Pedro and Clara talking to Ginang Santos. That would be Pedro at Clara po ang mga pangalan namin. So our names are Pedro and Clara. So when we mention pangalan, that means name. Pedro at Clara po ang mga pangalan namin. Next is first person plural inclusive or person speaking and the person or persons being addressed. So that would be natin in Filipino and then our in English, natin. When the person speaking includes the person or the people he or she is talking to, natin is used. Example, Ginang Cruz. Ginang Cruz, Ginoong Santos, Pedro at Clara ang mga pangalan natin. That means our names are Mrs. Cruz, Mr. Santos, Pedro, and Clara. Next is second person plural or the person or persons being addressed. So that would be ninyo, which is your in English, ninyo. So this is used when the speaker or speakers refer to more than one person. Ninyo is used. Ninyo is also used when the person being addressed is older or in formal situations. Let us have this example. Ginang Cruz talking to Pedro and Clara, she can say, Pedro at Clara ang mga pangalan ninyo. That means your names are Pedro and Clara. Pedro at Clara ang mga pangalan ninyo. Next is third person plural. Nila is there in English, nila. When the speaker or speakers refer to more than one person other than himself or herself or themselves, nila is used. This is also considered to be the most formal way by which one can address another. Example, Ginang Cruz talking to Ginoong Santos about Pedro and Clara. Pedro at Clara ang mga pangalan nila. That means their names are Pedro and Clara. Pedro at Clara ang mga pangalan nila. Next, we have the word mga to indicate plurality. So the word mga is used to make a word plural. Thus, the plural form of pangalan is mga pangalan. When using English words that have been integrated into the Filipino language, for example, computer, say only mga computer instead of mga computers. Next is our linker at. The linker at means and in English. It can be used to link words and clauses. We say, Maria at Pedro ang mga pangalan nila. So their names are Maria and Pedro. Let us now have our particles. Din and rin are called enclitic particles. As we learned earlier, particles are function words. Din and rin mean the same thing, which is to or also. Din is used when the preceding word ends with a consonant and rin is used when the preceding word ends with a vowel. Din, consonant, rin, vowel. However, when the preceding word ends with a syllable that has the letter R, din is used. Let us have this example. Marie din ang pangalan ko. That means my name is also Marie. Pagbuo ng pangungusap or sentence construction. Strictly speaking, there is no verb to be in Filipino. Let's study the sentence. Kaklase ko siya. That means she is my classmate. As we recalled earlier as well, siya is gender neutral. So it's either he or she, and go is my or mine, and kaklase is classmate. So this literally means classmate my she. Thus, to form a sentence, we only need the relationship word, in this case kaklase, followed by a possessive pronoun ko, and then the nominative third person pronoun siya. Let us read the dialogue below. After completing this chapter, practice this dialogue on greetings and introductions using your own information. Let's have this one. Ginang Cruz. O sige, may klase pa ako. Okay, I still have a class. Pa is like the still word here. O sige, may klase pa ako. Okay, I still have a class. Klase, that's a class. And then my is has or have. Pedro, sige po. Okay, goodbye. Maria, paalam po. Paalam is the word for goodbye, and then the po is added to make it more polite. Ginang Cruz, paalam na sa inyo. Goodbye to you already, something like that. Once again, sige is okay in English, and this can also be used to say goodbye. Klase is class. Kaklase is classmate. Paalam means goodbye and is considered to be an old-fashioned way of saying goodbye, but popular in many literary texts. And for our mga tala sa kultura or culture notes, in studying language, we can learn a lot about the culture of a people. The Filipino language, for example, has a complex system of affixes. One of its most interesting prefixes is ka. In this lesson, you learned the following words. Kapatid, which means brother or sister, it's gender neutral. Kaibigan, which means a friend, it's also either male or female. Katrabaho, that means a co-worker. When we say trabaho, that's work. Kasambahay means a person who lives in the same house, or it can also be a house helper. Bahay is the root word that means house. Kapitbahay means neighbor. Kapit means to like hold hands or be together, be united, be one. And then a bahay is a house. And kabayan, kababayan, that means of the same town or of the same country or from the same town or from the same country. You may have noticed that all these words start with the prefix ka. Ka in many cases signals a relationship. The word kapatid is most interesting because the root word patid means to cut, and the word kapatid literally means cut from the same umbilical cord. Many Filipinos take notice of another's last name. They will then try to associate with you or find a link. Should you say, for example, that your last name is Ledesma, they may ask, kaano-ano mo ang mga Ledesma ng Bacolod? Kaano-ano mo ang mga Ledesma ng Bacolod? That means, how are you related to the Ledesmas of Bacolod who are living in Bacolod? Should you answer that they are your relatives, they will then ask you if you are related to someone they know. For example, kilala mo ba si Connie? Or kilala mo ba si Connie? Do you know Connie? And then proceed to explain how they know this person. Kaklase ko siya sa high school, which means she was my high school classmate. This familiarity serves in Filipino culture to make the person more comfortable because you know someone he or she knows. Let us study the list of new words introduced in this reading. Then, we are going to read the short note of a college student to her father and answer the question that follow. Kumusta, tatay? Magandang umaga. Ito po ang mga kaibigan ko, sina Teresa at Barbara. Mga estudyante sila ng Ateneo University. Mga kaklase ko po sila sa biology. Si Binibining Pineda ang guro namin. Nagmamahal, Melissa. Please repeat after me. Kumusta, tatay? Magandang umaga. Ito po ang mga kaibigan ko, sina Teresa at Barbara. Mga estudyante sila ng Ateneo University. Mga kaklase ko po sila sa biology. Si Binibining Pineda ang guro namin. Nagmamahal, Melissa. Kumusta, tatay? Magandang umaga. Ito po ang mga kaibigan ko, sina Teresa at Barbara. Mga estudyante sila ng Ateneo University. Mga kaklase ko po sila sa biology. Si Binibining Pineda ang guro namin. Nagmamahal, Melissa. Unang tanong, first question, ano ang mga pangalan ng mga kaibigan ni Melissa? So ano is what? Pangalan is name. Mga pangalan are names. And when we say kaibigan, that's a friend. When we say mga kaibigan, friends. So what are the names of Melissa's friends? So the answer is Teresa at Barbara. Or ang mga pangalan ng mga kaibigan ni Melissa ay Teresa at Barbara. Ikalawang tanong, second question, saan sila nag-aaral? Sila ay nag-aaral sa Ateneo University. Sila ay nag-aaral sa Ateneo University. Pangatlong tanong, third question, ano ang klase nila? What is their class? Ano ang klase nila or their subject or their course? So, mga kaklase ko po sila sa biology. So, biology ang klase nila. Biology ang klase nila. Sino ang guro nila? That's question number 4, tanong bilang 4. Sino ang guro nila? When we say sino, that means who, and guro is teacher. So, who's their teacher? Sino ang guro nila? So, ang sagot is, ang pangalan ng guro nila ay Binibining Pineda. Or si Binibining Pineda ang guro nila. And that is all for our Aralin 2 or Lesson 2 of our Tagalog for Beginners. Once again, if you like this video, if you learned something from this video, please don't forget to click like and comment as well. So I would know that you are looking forward to watching or listening or to having our Lesson 3. Maraming salamat. Ingat. Paalam.